Board of Appeals, please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Allen Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar. The adjourned matters will be called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When a matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary that proceeds to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will swear you in and read into the record information on your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then answer you make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will answer whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will answer comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you are acknowledged, come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer the additional questions, if that happens, that does not start the second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide. They want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before you go ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases, it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned in the meeting on the scheduled date of the hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date of the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone that would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First application tonight is application 2138 of Michael Callahan, property located in Lindenhurst. Name and address for the record, please.
Gennaro Cozzolino, 2125 Deer Park Avenue, Deer Park, New York, 91729.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated October 21st, 2008. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Then we got 4 photographs. 6 photographs, I'm sorry. And a set of plans.
Bottom
Michael
right.
Angelone, age 420, I'm sorry.
okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Chairman, I didn't get to know his first name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gennaro, last name Cozzolino. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Gennaro Cozzolino for the homeowner, Michael Callahan, residing at 41 Bolton Street, Lindenhurst. We're requesting relief from the board to construct a new 26 by 28.5 foot second floor addition. The proposed addition requires a variance for front yard setback, requesting to build at 22.9 feet instead of permitted 30 feet, a difference of 7.1 feet. The proposed addition complies with all other zoning requirements, will have no significant impact on the environment, will not affect any of the adjacent properties, and will fit in with the character and nature of the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Rigby.
Quick question for you. Looking at the dwelling, if you look to the right, there's 2 front doors on this particular house. Why is there a door to the right? There 2 front doors still on this piece of property?
No, sir.
There's only one?
If you look at the elevation, you'll see there's only one on the plan. There's only one front entrance.
Okay, someone was showing that there was another door, the attachment to the right of the house. There was a door there at one time, no longer?
No longer there.
Okay. And what do you just, you want a portion of the house of an addition here?
Second floor over the main house, correct.
Chairman, I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board?
One more question, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. No portico involved or anything like that?
No, there's an existing vestibule in the front.
Okay, we're not gonna enclose anything, we're just doing a simple lift up on top?
There's a 2-foot cantilever in the front. That's about it.
Okay, but no enclosures and nothing
No.
like that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I got no further questions.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 20-138, conditions of no enclosures on the front. And that's it. Second.
All in favor? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Stay well.
You too. Oh, okay. Thank you. Next application is application 2140 of Farah Macy, property located in Babylon. West Babylon.
How's everybody doing?
Good, how about you?
Good.
Okay, name and address for the record, please.
Anthony Massey, 5 Milton Road, Babylon.
Ma'am?
Sarah Massey, 5 Mountain Road, Babylon.
Okay, you both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, we do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. We do not have Suffolk County planning on this application, so we would have to hold that and wait for Suffolk County planning. Nothing you have to do, it's just something that has to come to us. It's administrative, so we can't move the application tonight. Survey by Michael K. Wicks dated February 15th, 2020.
tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, we have a registered architect, Charles P. Phillips, Lindo, dated 2/17/20, and 4/4.
would you like to tell us about the application?
We're just applying for the variance to put a covered porch on the front of our house. It's gonna be about 7 feet by 30 feet. And it's basically just gonna square off the front of our house now.
Okay, I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Weinstein.
Thank you. So you're going from your garage over to the edge of your house,
Correct,
basically.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be covered,
yes,
okay. We agreed not to enclose it,
correct.
okay. I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Chairman, I'll make the motion to approve application 20.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah,
Right.
we have to hold this for Suffolk County Planning. We should get that by next week.
It looks good.
Yeah. but-
Anything you need from me or?
No, you do nothing from you. It's just something from, we have to wait for them from Suffolk County. Sometimes they're slow getting it back to us, and because where it's located, we have to have their, blessing, basically. Okay?
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next application is application 2139 of Michelle Cagliosi, property located in North Babylon. Cagliosi, sorry.
Okay, close enough. How are you all?
Name and address for the record.
Sure, Michelle Cangelosi, 95 Harriet Road, North Babylon.
I do affirm to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, and also on this application, like the last one, we need Suffolk County Planning. We do not have that. We should get it probably by next week. We have a planning memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Meets and Bounds Surveying dated September 3rd, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, goes to the plans by Joshua C. Jacob, dated May 4th, 2020, 4/4.
okay, would you like to tell us about the application? Oh, wait a minute, let me see one more thing here too. I need to amend that. So on the first variance, permission to diminish front yard setback from 30, and it should be to 20.7. So I want to amend the application to read that way. All in favor? Okay, now, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Sure. So I'm seeking a variance to do a dormer, really just do a second-story addition to the upstairs of my home.
Okay, oh, so it's a cape and you're just putting the dormer on.
Correct, yep,
Nothing else is changing, everything else is the same?
correct.
So why?
Planning just wanted to note that there was an additional variance for a front porch that was not advertised on this application. So we will need to re-advertise and re-hear, but we are continuing with tonight's hearing on the items that were advertised.
Okay,
May I ask a question about the
Sure.
porch? Yeah, so,
Sure.
so it's my understanding, I might be incorrect, that the steps that are existing is what's considered the porch, but that's actually going to be demolished and a much smaller set of steps will be put in place.
so all you're doing is putting back, steps that would go up to the entranceway?
Yeah, like regular steps.
No enclosure, no portico, no nothing?
There will be a small portico that's on the existing plan, but nothing enclosed. And the steps will be much
Still need,
smaller than what's there.
Yeah, we had 2 sets of plans in the file. The first set did not need portico, the second set did.
Okay,
It's a 4.4 by 4. It's only like 17 square feet, but it is considered an encroachment. It's not a stoop or anything like that because of the portico.
got it, okay.
so you're gonna have to come back for that portion of the application. We can go ahead with the rest of the application, but you'd have to do,
We'll give you a call.
Okay, that'll be great, thank you.
Brian will take care of you. Okay.
Also, just like a kind of plan.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly, thanks. Okay, so any other questions from the board?
No.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision, keep the record open for Suffolk County Planning, and we should get that by next week.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much. Have a good night.
You too. Next application is application 2143 of Dominic Barone, property located in West Babylon.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
For the record, my name is Dominic Varone,
Address.
1515 A Street, West Babylon.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. Did you get a copy of this? Just has a couple of things on here about if you take trees down, you have to be aware of longhorn beetle quarantine, and you need a construction activity agreement that we required stormwater management and erosion and sediment control.
Yes, I saw that as part of the packet. I
Okay,
just
you got it.
looked
Okay.
at.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes dated October 15th, 2020. We have a second survey by Frank J. Ward dated January 24th, 1991. And then we have that same survey showing a house on the eastern lot here. So this is a vacant lot. This was a subdivision at some point?
Yes, originally.
Okay. Okay, so that's what that shows. And
Chairman, we got a set of plans here by Brandon K. Hancock and 4 photographs.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, I am the owner applicant. It's a single separate parcel of land that's been in my family since 1953. It's 75 feet wide by 200 feet deep, with a total of 15,000 square feet. We seek to erect a modest 2-story single-family dwelling. It'll be owner occupied with no accessory apartment. We respectfully request to diminish the width of the front property line from 100 to 75 feet. And we also seek to diminish the front yard setback from 40 feet to 36 feet, only to allow for stair encroachment and the 2-foot roof overhang. In our opinion, the proposed structure will not inflict an undue hardship on surrounding properties and is in substantial conformance with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Weintraub.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. You have agreed to all the covenants and restrictions for the single family.
Yes, sir.
Owner occupied only. Okay. With regard to the front yard, the 36 feet, do you think that's about in keeping with the neighbors, where the neighbors are? Or?
Yes, it is. We subdivided. My son lives next door. He's set back at that. And going down the block, most of the houses, the width is 75 feet. And most of them
Yeah.
are all the same.
I'm worried about it being set back.
Yeah, no, it's in conformance with
I think.
the other houses. in the-
I just wanted to- Okay, I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're gonna hold this too? No, no. Who has questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 20-143 for the covenants and restrictions to be applied.
Second.
All in favor?
Wasn't it done as part of subdivision?
I think, yeah, what did I see that? I think it was
It was, but back in
91.
92.
So does the secret need to be done again?
It was not here.
Joe's not here.
We just got approval from the Suffolk County Department of Health, November 3rd.
Okay.
I don't know if you have that yet. I've submitted that to the building department.
Where-
Want to hold it? Or we-
Yeah,
Don't want these, you're not want to know.
Oh,
we're good? Okay.
Thank you so much.
Next application is application 2141 of Paul Jean, property located in West Babylon. What's the setup here? I'm sorry. Paul Jean, property located in West Babylon on Colonial Road. All right, we'll come back to that later. Next application, give me this again. Is 2142 of Smitha Ramamurthy. Yeah, you like this, huh? All right, we'll come back to that one also. Next application is application 2121 of Barrett Price, property located in Wyandotte. Name and address for the record,
Barrett Price, 14 Hickory Street, Wyandotte.
sir.
Louis Santora, Architects, 204 Fifth Street, St. James.
Okay, and do you both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated October 13th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated October 13th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Lawrence Michael Haynes, dated July 7th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, this is planned by Louis J. Santora, dated June 2020. 5:30.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Good evening. Mr. Price's lot is an undersized lot. It's only 40 by 100. His house, as it exists now, is non-conforming in setbacks on the side yards and the front yard. He has a small cape with 2 bedrooms downstairs and 1 upstairs. He basically wants to take the roof off and put a second floor up to make three bedrooms and open up the first floor for living space for his family. And there's a small addition at the corner, back left rear, which is just for a laundry area. And none of the proposals are making the house wider than it is right now.
Okay,
And I'm sorry, one more thing, sir.
Sure.
Regarding, there's also a thing about the garage in there too. When we applied to the building department for the house, they came back that, to my client's no knowledge, that he bought the house, that the existing garage was in a legal structure, there was no COs on it. So what he'd like to do is, it's not in very good shape, so we're gonna rebuild that in basically the same spot and size as it is now.
so if you're gonna rebuild it, can you put it in a conforming location?
Excuse me?
If you're going to rebuild the garage, you're gonna take it down and rebuild the garage, can you put it in a conforming location so that it would be 6 feet on both sides?
I'll leave that up to my client to see what he wants to do.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so in that case, then we don't need the variances for number 4 and 5, 6 to 3 for the garage, if you're gonna rebuild it in a legal location. But you're gonna have to do that, otherwise, it's a problem, you can't get CO and stuff, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to eliminate variances 4 and 5 concerned with the garage on application 2121.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So then, as far everything else, basically you're going straight up, okay? And you're just squaring that little piece off in the back, is that what you're doing there? Where like the
Yes.
chimney is in that corner?
That is correct.
You're gonna square that
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
So
I
there's
have to
no,
say-
you're not coming out any further, it's gonna be, the same as it is right now, basically, so.
I do have to say, Chairman, there is a front porch as a part of the application, which is one of the setback, one of the front yard
Yeah,
setbacks.
30 to 13. Is that existing, the front porch, or is that something you're gonna put on?
It's a new structure.
It's a new structure. So right now you're at 18 feet, so you're going to 13 feet, so it's gonna be a 5-foot wide porch,
Yes, sir.
basically for the front, for the whole front of it?
Yes,
Okay.
Recommended condition?
Say that again, I'm
Is the
sorry.
recommended condition on the front porch?
Probably
Yeah,
have to be enclosed, right?
yeah, right, yeah. So would you agree to the front porch not being enclosed?
Yes. Not enclosed.
All right. Any other questions from the board?
No.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? I think anybody else is left. We good? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve application 2121 as amended with a condition on the front of the CO that the front porch not be enclosed. All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you, board.
Got your wish, huh? Next application is application 2116 of GNR Building Corp., property located in Amityville.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell, Blanda and Visconti with offices at 535 North Hollow Road in Melville. You know the drill.
Okay, for the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th.
He said he left it at the annex?
I'm sorry.
He dropped it off at the annex?
No.
Did it not make it to the folder? Okay. I'll check with him later tonight and follow up tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020, environmental control memo dated November 10th, 2020. The same thing that was on the other thing about Longhorn Beetles and construction activity agreement. Have a copy of that?
Yes.
Survey by William Simmons dated April 20th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map and
Mr. Chairman, we got a set of plans here by Harold E. Gibbhard dated April 8th, 2020, and 4/48.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Essentially, the applicant bought this house to refurbish and add an addition. It was, I think, foreclosed on, and I guess in between him purchasing it and it being on a town list to be demolished, he never got the notice that it was going to be demolished, and one day drove by and found that the house was no longer there. So we are here, and you can see on the aerial that there used to be a house on this parcel. So given that the house is gone, he would like to now reconstruct a dwelling on the lot. So we're seeking variances to go from 80 feet to 50 feet, 10,000 square feet to 6,360. So those would have been existing conditions anyway. And the house will have a total side yard of 25 feet, where 30 feet is required. The planning department notes that the house we're proposing is actually 5 feet narrower than the house that was there. So I would imagine then that we're getting into further conformance with the total side yard setbacks, given that. The CO for the prior home that was there dates back to 1950. So clearly it's in character with the area. It's not doing anything negative to the area. A house has always been there. It's just going to be a new house now instead of a refurbishment of an old house, should the board seek to grant the variances. And obviously all the usual covenants and restrictions would be, are consented to, single family, owner occupied, et cetera.
Okay, so there was an old kind of broken down house there. They took it down and now we're going to build a new better house there
Correct.
with really, no difference except I guess the front yard a little bit, but not, the rest of it is existing. It's all the property is.
Right. The street frontage and the lot area are existing regardless.
Yeah, and this happens to be in a B zone, so that creates more of a variance.
Correct.
Is this in character with the other houses in the neighborhood?
There are other two-story houses. I mean, obviously, this is going to be one of the newer ones, and it's, I think, deeper, a little bit deeper, because she was trying to comply with the side yard setbacks. The house that had been there previously would have been a more wide line version of a home.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none. Okay, Okay, I'll make a motion to approve application 2116 with the conditions, with the covenants and restrictions and conditions on the planning memo dated November 10th, 2020. Oh, and the DEC memo, which you have, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
Okay,
thank you. Have a good
Thanks.
night.
You too. Next application is application 2118 of Winter Brothers Hauling, Long Island, LLC, property located in West Babylon.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Mark Cuthbertson, 434 New York Avenue, Huntington, New York, 11743. On behalf of the applicant, I'm here with Will Flower, who's the VP for Corporate and Public Affairs at Winters Brothers.
All right, for the record, we have a planning division memo dated September 28th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated September 10th, 2020. Negative declaration was adopted by the planning board, is that right?
Yes.
A tax map acting as an area map. A set of plans by Eugene Kempy, last dated July 17th, 2020. And
Mr. Chairman, I got to the plans by Eugene G. Penny dated 7/17/20.
okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
First, I'd like to say it's great to be here in Copeg. It brings me back, my kids played baseball,
Oh, yeah.
and we used to have to come here to
Be
the
here 11
baseball
o'clock at
game.
night at 9
And
years
among
old.
all the parents, they'd always say, do you take straight path to get there? You take Seaford, Oyster Bay, and no one could agree on what was the best way. But we all always agreed there's no easy way to get to Copeg, and I think that's still the case. This is an application for the company to construct almost 17,000 square foot building to refurbish refuse containers as indicated in the planning memo. On the southern part of the property, there will be parking for large tractor trailers, which will be used to move the refuse containers. So what's going on at the site is really the storage and refurbishment of refuse containers that my client uses in connection with his business, which are obviously a necessary part of the garbage industry on Long Island, and a part of the uses which are containers like this. I have reviewed the planning board memo and note the concern with respect to justifying the parking variance. The fact is, at where this current operation takes place close by in West Babylon and is being moved here, and at that site, there are 6 employees that work there, 2 welders, 1 painter, 1 sandblaster, a forklift operator, and 1 delivery truck driver. So while we are asking to diminish the spaces that would be required for a building like this from 87 parking spaces to 65 parking spaces, the fact is that there are only 6 employees that they need to accommodate with those spaces. So some of these, even as a part of that, are going to be land banked, but we obviously have to show them on the plan and they would be approved. And that was addressed before the planning board in the submissions to them. But obviously this board is the one who has jurisdiction to change the regulations when it comes to parking. So that's the explanation for that.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Weinjank.
Thank you. Just as a note, it's hard to get to Northport from Copeland.
Amen. I know.
So there's only 6 employees, but does anybody else come to this? Is there any, it's not a place where anybody else would come to park for any reason?
No, just trucks obviously would come there to bring the containers, drop them off, and then to take them away, but they wouldn't
But
be
no
parking there.
trucks are parked there overnight.
No.
Okay.
Is that,
There are a few over-the-road trucks, about 6 of them that would also be parked there. So in addition to what Mark mentioned with the 2 welders, painter, the forklift operator, and the sandblaster, there would be an additional 6 parking spaces needed for the drivers of those trucks.
Those are overnight and the other employees are during the day.
That is correct. And again, most of the trucks are at 120 Nancy Street where our big headquarters are. That's where we park the majority of our vehicles.
Okay, thank you. I
Thank
have
you,
no
sir.
further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Parking variances, no. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 20-118.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck, guys.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, there's 2 to go back to.
Yeah. Let's see who's who here. We have 2 people or 1 person?
142, 21, 21.
Yeah, we're getting to
Yeah.
number 5, number 6.
Number 5, number 6. What, you the only one out there?
No, 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 no.
What's your address?
27.
Yeah. Yeah,
27.
application number
6?
6. 6 on the agenda.
Okay.
Step up, sir.
Yeah, step right up. Need your name and address for the record, please.
Mark Wittenberg, architect. I have an office at 655 Park Avenue in Huntington.
And do you affirm to tell, say that again? Yeah, we need, can you just make sure she's got your name?
The address is 655 Park Avenue in Huntington. The name is Mark Wittenberg, architect.
Okay. And you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Christopher Hen dated June 7th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Mr. Chairman, we got a set of plans by Mark Elliott Wittenberg dated 3/4/2020 and 4 pictures.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
I just have a few notes here.
Sure.
The home is located mid-block on Fairfield Drive. Homes in the area are 2-story colonials and 1-story ranch houses. The neighborhood is most of the houses are sort of original in character. There haven't been too many renovations over the years. But the owners would like to improve their existing original 4-bedroom ranch house to, 1, add a 2nd story for 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a laundry room, and a sitting area. 2, to expand and renovate the existing 1st floor for a larger entryway, dining room, and pantry. Also to update and expand their original kitchen, and to maintain or rather relocate the 2-car garage, and also a nice looking new roofed over front entry porch. To do this, they seek the reliefs listed. They include a diminished front yard, diminished side yard, and total side yard, as well as increased lot coverage. There are existing non-conforming conditions for the side yard, total side yard, and lot coverage. The owners feel that the improvements proposed create no negative impact on the neighborhood. In fact, last Saturday, I went and spoke myself to the 2 neighbors to the left and the right of the house, and I explained in detail what the project was. And while I didn't get their signature, they did claim that they had no problem with the project. And that pretty much concludes my application. Any questions?
Okay, so The main part of the application is you're going up on the house, right?
Right.
Okay, and then we're gonna add a front porch, is that front yard variance there?
Right, there's a front porch that projects into the front yard. The house, it's sort of the house itself is behind that front yard line.
Okay.
The small addition to the right is a one-story, just as I was making things a little larger inside, we wanted to maintain the two-car garage, so there's a small bump out there.
So that's like 2.8 feet?
2.8 feet, only about 1.5 feet is over that line though. And then that addition in the back, that's to give it a decent kitchen. The original kitchen is kind of small in these houses.
So you're kind of squaring that back part off. There was a little area there, right, and coming out a little bit more?
Right, we're just
Basically
coming out a
squaring
little
off
bit
what's
more.
there?
Yeah, we're just sort of taking what the footprint allows. These ranch houses are made with like a little courtyard, a little carved out patio,
Right.
but we're taking that for the entry and to expand the dining room.
Okay.
You know,
It's on the area, I mean, it's on the,
I think it's on the,
Okay,
this is how square the front.
yeah, okay,
Right, we're squaring that carve out
right.
and then adding a porch, which I think always look nice, you know.
Okay. All right, any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none. Okay, I'll make a, good, right? I'll make a motion to approve application 2142.
Second,
All in favor?
with the additions that's not enclosed, right, Mickey?
Yeah. Objections. Yeah,
Of course,
yeah, the front porch won't be enclosed.
that's
You
correct.
agree to that?
Yes, we agree to that.
With the condition that the front porch not be enclosed.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. John Paul's.
Next application is application, what do you need? 2141 of Paul Jean, property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record?
My name is Paul Jean, address 111 Colonial Road, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated November 10th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated November 6th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Alphonse Pesci dated August 29th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map and
Mr. Chairman, we got a set of plans by Kurt A. Jacobs dated 10/1/20 and 4 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, so I would like to extend the master bedroom also at the bottom of it. Extend the family room and then add a sunroom and also add a porch. We have 3 kids and our dilemma is we don't think that they're going to be leaving anytime soon. So with this whole pandemic situation, we've been living on top of each other and they don't share space with each other. So doing a preemptive strike to create harmony where everybody has, you know, elbow room. And I can get my closet back. You wanted the truth.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Weinschenk.
Thank you. The sunroom in the back, will you agree that that will remain unheated?
Yes.
Okay. Now this, in the rear, the proposed two-story addition, that seems a little large, but does this really just square off the house? It keeps it square?
Yes.
And you're putting extra bedrooms in there, and that's the bedroom or on the second floor?
Yes, that's the master bedroom, yes.
Okay. And I see that the building area has to be changed. What's going on with that?
Yeah, that's being removed.
That's
because,
being removed.
Looks like there was a wrong calculation by one of the.
Oh,
planning
okay.
vendors.
Okay.
The building area is under 30%, so the variance is not required.
Okay. Before we get to that. So you're gonna have it looks like a rather large driveway. It's,
Yes, currently the way it is now, it only holds 2 vehicles. And we have 3 kids. The one is 15 and he's looking into getting a car. And we already know, just from parking there before on the outside, there was like a little nick that's somebody hit. So we're trying to have the kids, have some room in the driveway.
is the garage useful? Do you have an interior garage?
When we bought the house, the garage is was an auxiliary apartment, and I sent you that.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that too.
Yes.
This is gonna be a one-family house?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Before we go any further, let me just amend the application to remove the 4th variance to increase total building area.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 20-141. I don't see any.
Sunroom?
Oh,
The
sunroom.
sunroom will remain unheated.
And the front porch and side
The
deck's
side
not
deck
being
will
closed.
remain
Yeah.
unenclosed.
Yes.
Thank you.
All in favor?
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. I guess I'll just wait in the mail.
Yeah, you'll get it in the mail.
Okay, many blessings. Thank you. And by the way, the address here was very hard to find.
Yeah.
I thought I put it in my GPS, 2 Baylon Avenue, Copic, and it sent me to an abandoned building. But someone had an engineer here that said, "Oh no, you have to go to 2 Tanner."
Yeah.
So had to follow them. So you
Oh,
might
is
see
that is
somebody.
too Tanner? Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
there was a few people that was looking. And,
yeah, that's why, yeah, okay, got you.
Okay. So
Yeah,
thanks
we'll have to
again.
put that, we'll have to put that out there.
Oh, yeah. Many
Thanks.
blessings to you guys.
All right.
The annex would be much better. I want to find it. The annex is better.
Works fine for me. I can literally walk home.
I might as well go to Philly.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well go to Philly.
That's what they say. Yeah, I've been telling you all week.
Okay. No problem. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
No, that was.
Okay, hold on.
The remainder of the agenda remains reserved. We are not able to take any action on any of the items. So your correspondence includes a notice from the town of Huntington advising you of resolutions recently adopted by the town board. If you would like to peruse that and read and file, then we would ask that you would move on to accepting the minutes of October 1st.
I'll move to accept the minutes of October 1st.
Second. All in favor?
All right.
And we would ask that you please review the minutes of October 29th. We would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Got that thing. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.